I'm Pat.
Hey Pat, I'm Jeffrey. We're sort of discussing um, human food for animals, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because is chocolate just something that makes cats fat, or is it something that
No, that's lasagna. Yeah.
is true?
Yeah,
It's
right, yeah.
pretty carb heavy, but yeah. Here's the weird thing. Okay, so if you look inside the mouth of one of these creatures over here, right, you're gonna see a whole lot of like pointies, right,
Yeah,
for the most part. But my vet informed me it's like, nah, they're supposed to eat vegetables.
really.
Yeah,
Even though that like everything is like geared towards eating like other animals.
that's correct. So
Oh,
I guess they have a couple of things that are there to grind up, not like us,
well, that's good.
right?
Yeah.
So we have humans that are, I don't know what do they call them, like sharp tooth and uh,
Sharp tooth.
what's the other one? Is this just like it's not flat tooth? It's
Long
not.
neck.
Is
What?
it long neck?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
remember.
yeah.
All I know is that the sharp tooth is the one you want to be, scared of. So if you see humans like that, like you're fucked. But
Sharp tooth humans, huh?
they exist, I
Oh
guess.
yeah. Well, hopefully they don't make it past immigration. But yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering because, since the dog has a mouthful of like sharp teeth, are cats supposed to eat plants too?
Cats are supposed to be like obligate carnivores,
Yeah.
but I have two cats who will totally eat Cheetos.
Just can you explain what animal it comes from? I
I
mean,
have no idea. Yeah.
you've seen a really, really unhealthy animal. We'll talk about an animal that was born wheezing.
Just go through the sprayer first. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It needs some orange dye number 5.
So do they lay eggs or do they like is it live birth? Do they give milk?
Just yeah, exactly.
No, that's true. If you like leave a whole bunch of like wet towels in a corner, do you just are they a spore?
Yeah, right. You have to harvest these every now and then.
I
No,
guess,
but I
man. I
didn't know
guess.
that about like garlic and onions, though.
Yeah, I found that out maybe just a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And I mean, there's not going to say I've been like completely guilt free in this because certainly a pizza crust or two has been thrown her way.
Yeah, sure.
Um, those Domino's ones are kind of
And they're pretty heavy on both of those.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
man, I
don't
have
know.
no idea. Apparently, cats are like obligate carnivores, so like all their meat, all their food has to have some kind of like meat taint to it.
Fair enough.
So before
Yeah.
they'll actually touch it, but like like I said, I have two cats who will totally jack your Cheetos.
What's a good flavor? I mean, it's
I always just thought it was salt. So like if I get a pizza and I pour like the sprinkled cheese parmesan all over it, and then my cat will jump up on the counter and just lick the
like the
pizza.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Like the
So,
pizza or the salt.
well, if there's any pizza left,
Does it actually just like lick the pizza?
yeah, it doesn't eat the pizza, just licks the pizza.
Does that make you mad, or are you just like, well, I can be throwing that
Dude,
in
my
there?
wife has gotten so good about putting like this pot that we have that's this big fucking, casserole pot over the pizza so the cat can't get to it while we're like picking off
Oh,
slices
okay, all right,
and
all right.
stuff. Yeah, so I just assumed it was a salt thing.
It wouldn't surprise me. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
do I don't know if you and your veterinarian have ever discussed this. Are cats supposed to, with the food they eat, does it contain a certain amount of fiber to actually encourage the digestive system?
I have no idea.
All right.
Yeah. No, I don't know. So,
All right, when I go see him in December, I'll ask.
oh, look at this dog here,
This
man. He's
is
just like trying to
Y'all
totally
don't know.
sneak behind me here,
You
man.
guys have no idea what
What
this
are you
is.
doing? I don't need lumbar support again, Sasha. I love you, but yeah, you are a way bigger pill than I usually use. Over to the chair. There we go.
All right.
Your doc has gotten so chill the last 2 years, 3 years.
Uh, to a large capacity, I think there's a component of it where, and this was something that the vet talked about, is animals are on edge when they're injured. So,
Is she injured?
well, she's got that hip, right? She's got that fucked up hip,
You still
right?
doing the doggy? She was doing wire therapy for a while,
She
right?
was, but she wasn't. The problem was, it's not like it wasn't getting results. So the thing was, when it was really tender, right? And she had to do something to start to get that muscle up, right? That was actually a pretty good, thing. But you stop getting results on that.
Right, and then you start causing damage.
It wasn't a damage thing. I mean, she could do it all day, because that's all it is basically like water friction. So that's not a big deal. You can put a weight on it, which is what they ended up doing, or resistance, right? It's just that you don't get once you get to a point where it's okay to use,
Hmm.
you want to actually put genuine exercise on it, right? You could do that all
Oh,
day.
I
So
got you.
yeah, it's sort
Yeah,
of like
I got you.
if you were going to work on your arm there, right?
My busted flipper.
That's the
Yeah.
one, right? Obviously, you can't go in there with fucking 35s and just start
No.
cranking it, right?
Yeah, no.
So,
Yeah, no.
so what you're going to have to do is you start with fives there for a little bit, right?
Start with milk cartons.
You
Yeah.
start with milk cartons, you
Yeah.
start with fives, tens, whatever, right? But eventually, you can do all the fives and tens you want. You're just not going to be getting any bigger,
Yeah, I
right?
got you. Yeah.
So for her, unless I was taking her and doing that daily with like severe like weight on there, it wasn't going to do any more good. So from there, we transitioned to different kinds of balance and exercise things. A lot of stair climbing, a lot of
Okay.
basically like doggy squats. It is what it is. She's going to be on arthritis medication for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
But fuck it, man. That's
So what do you put her on? You put her on a Cosequin or whatever it is.
what?
Isn't it a Cosequin that actually helps build ligaments within?
Shit. Um, the stuff I use has a different name. It could be like the same
Okay.
thing. I know that this is basically it's specifically for arthritis. So
It might be the same thing.
it could be. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called, but yeah, that's what she's. When they put her on it, when she went to the emergency room for that, right? I guess they probably should have asked because there is sort of a risk of that where hey, some dogs don't respond to this very well. But they Librella, that's the name of the shit.
Oh,
But
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
but they gave it to her, and so basically, once you're on it, you're on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds kind of like the
If you
same thing.
survive it, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's fine. And the
Dude, she looks amazing.
well, I work a lot
She
on
looks
that.
amazing.
She
Yeah.
still has one super jacked butt cheek
Right.
on the
Yeah.
left. And I do it because she has been so used to basically putting like all the weight on that there, and for a long time, that's like her second gear, right?
Well, she doesn't hop around the way as she used to.
Uh
So that seems to
uh
work really well.
Yeah, yeah. And for her, she's just got this weird kind of gait now, where because her stupid left, you know, hindquarter is so fucking jacked, right? She essentially goes first gear with all four legs, right? And then second gear, it's faster for her to switch to the left,
Right.
right?
Got it. Yeah.
And then when she gets to third and fourth, she breaks out all the legs again, right?
Once she gets some speed going.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
But the
Gotcha.
problem there is, yeah, if she gets in there and just starts like, okay, second gear is a good speed for me right now, right? It's like, thanks, hun, but we're not actually building up the right leg. I'd rather you slow down and we actually put some weight on the right leg. So, yeah, I take her in, we get it measured. every month. And then she gets
Okay.
her injection, and yeah, and for her sake, this is the thing that's positive for me is she is on the lowest dose of that and no painkillers,
Oh, that's awesome.
right?
Yeah.
So that's when they were. Remember when I was talking to you about doing like surgery,
Hmm.
right? Um, that was the thing was if she were taking like a higher dose and if she were on like daily painkillers, I'm like, okay, but she's sort of in the best possible spot that she can be for this. And a lot of that comes from that
Let's
rehab
just
stuff.
maintain that.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. I
Um,
gotcha.
and
Yeah.
not letting her just say like, I have one really strong arm, I'm going to use it all the time.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I know how to pick up my milk cartons. Thank you.
Well, straighten me out. If it had been your right arm, right? Would you have just basically converted left, or were you like, no, I got to get this thing back up to speed? This is a fucking arm I use.
Well, the motor, like my actual motor,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah. So if I had to write with it, it'd be fine. So, but
With the left
if it came
or
to
the
that,
or the right, you can.
well, it wasn't my right arm.
Right,
So,
right.
but if it was my left arm, and if I had actually lost any kind of like serious motor skills in my left arm, then yeah, I probably would have pushed into it a little bit harder.
All right.
But really, when it came down to it, I mean, um, so I went through what was it like 6 8 months of PT
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to get me back to the point in time, and I'm fine lifting up certain things,
yeah.
with my left arm, but I don't know, man. When you go through an injury like that, you got to kind of like it teaches you to baby it a bit,
Hmm. Hmm.
where it's like, fuck, I don't want to go through that again.
Right.
So don't pick that up with your left arm. Use your right arm.
Well, that's a. Did they say like at some point where it's like, look, if you rush this will detach, right?
Oh no, I've been told if if I have another injury on my left arm, it's fucking done.
Or
So
well,
yeah, and that's the whole point. Like eventually they tell you it's like, all right, so you can do this, but not that. So work your way up to this, but if you do that, and if it doesn't work out, and they can't give you any guarantees on it, you know.
yeah.
So it's just like, all right, um,
Because what did they do to reattach it?
dude, I have like fucking synthetic tendons in here now.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And they're attached to the natural ones. But like my left bicep will never be as strong as my right one. So ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just because it can't grow around that. So to a certain point, because it's not natural. So it just
Uh,
won't actually attach to it the same way that it would if it was natural ligament.
yeah.
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 So I mean, it's fine.
Well, because the only other alternative there is they have to take it from somewhere else in your body to put it in there, right?
Well, I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't get to that point. So
All
yeah.
right. No, that's
I
fine.
was
That's
like,
fine.
well, can I drive a car? And they're like, yeah, sure. Can I
Right.
use my left arm? It's like, yeah, just don't be doing no curls on 35-pound weights with it. I
Right.
was like, all right.
Right.
What about milk jugs? And I was like, that's fine. Just work your way up to it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like the thing about it is it's synthetic. And so
Yeah.
there's no way for the natural like ligaments to actually reattach to it because it's fucking plastic. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And I presume it's just straight up stapled on, right? Just basically anchored to it. Yeah.
Well, it's grafting into my bone.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying,
No, no,
like,
I'm not saying you are, man. I'm just saying
I'm
that,
just
like,
saying that's why my dog has one big butt cheek, and you,
yeah,
and you
exactly.
have one
You
strong
use the
arm.
other one, man.
But that's the thing, yeah, is especially after an injury like that, it's difficult to get someone or something to go back on and say, like, okay, I know this was hurting. Now we have to correct how you walk, right?
Right. Yeah.
Especially with not being able to talk to that person and saying, like, all right, sit down here. Let's go talk to science here.
Especially as a dog, you
Yeah.
just say what? Yeah, no. Yeah.
She's just like, I had a thing working there for a minute. So,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But then I felt this pop, you know?
But that being said, she didn't take kindly to the guy who came to fix my fridge the other day.
Really?
Nope.
Is your fridge fixed?
Yeah, it's fixed.
Nice.
He was super shocked even when I called him because well, I broke the little one.
Oh shit, so you were out.
I was out.
You were out.
I was
You go down to the 7-Eleven and buy blocks of ice next. Huh?
I wasn't too far off. And so all right. I gotta confess to some stupid shit. So it is what it is. All
All
right.
right.
So um, I don't know what it is about me. I don't know what it is about like my family where it's kind of like, all right, so you spilled ink on your dress shirt, right? It's like, all right, got it. Do you have another dress shirt? It's like, yeah, but it's got
Yeah, but
like it's sort of it's sort of flexible now, right? Because I bought it at my biggest, or well, actually when I was a little bit smaller, and so it's a little bit stretched at the seams, doesn't quite look right, but it fits, right?
you can make it
I
work.
can make it work. And
Yeah,
you say it's
yeah.
sort of like the little donut on your car. It's like, yeah, I can make
You
this work.
can't do that long enough.
And so, Pat, the funny thing was, I had gotten used to it. I just used a little fridge. That's the thing. It's just
He's using the donut.
I'm just using the donut, and so one of the problems with little fridges like that there is because they're just one thing. The top part is for the freezer, and what'll happen is eventually it'll build up with like these thick things of frost, right?
No, right.
All right. Well, so I'm trying to get. I'm like, ah, shit, this thing is building up too much here. I can't even get like my little pot pie in here to freeze it, right?
Oh.
So I'm like, all right, well, let me just get some of this ice out here, right? So I go to the garage and I get a hammer and I didn't want something sharp, so I got a little hole punch. I'm like, all right, that's fine. This is dull. I'll just go ahead and knock out a little piece of ice here. I'm like, okay, no worries. So I do that on the right side, and that actually works pretty well. So I'm like, all right, well, let me get the left side too, right? So hammer on the left side here, and then something punctures, and I get sprayed in the face and my hand with something. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure. And I backed off for a second. I didn't freak out, but I was like, it does kind of stink a little bit. And so I'm asking Rock there for a second. I was like, I think that was just refrigerant that I hit myself with. It's like, that's not toxic, is it? It's like, no. Did you? It's like, how bad did you get hit? Or any like, did your eyes or anything like
Are
this
you
get hit?
bleeding?
I was like, no, I had on protective eyewear.
Right.
And it got my hand, but only for like a second. It's like, all right, well, there's no toxic shit in there. Like, is my fridge done for? It's like maybe. It's like it'll keep. Here's the thing: is refrigerant in there is supposed to kind of keep things level, right? So either the thing's not going to work, or it's going to keep your food really fucking cold, right? Because it's just
Right.
spraying refrigerant right into it. Like, are my steaks done for? It's like you'll be fine, right? But that was it. It's like this thing is going to be cashed out. So I call the dude, and uh, evidently he's just like right down there. Just he's like, "Do you live far from me?" I'm like, "No, I'm at kind of like Powers and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that's 2 minutes from here." He's like, "I can get you in this morning, right?"
Let's do it.
Like, okay, awesome, awesome. Dude comes by. My dog freaks out. She's just got the little like growly feelers up. I'm like, all right, up you go.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
The dude gets in there and he's like, look, a lot of people would just tell you to buy a new fridge, but I can fix this for like $170.
Okay, let's do it.
Because yeah, and he's like, and I didn't believe you when you said like last night this model. He's like, those don't break like this. It's like that thing's not old. I'm like, no. He's
Mm-mm.
like, so it turns out that there's just in there was a little refrigerant leak,
Oh, okay.
right? And so what happened is, you know how the things work with basically like the heat suction and all that other stuff,
Yeah, it
right?
just cascades if you actually have a blockage somewhere.
Well, not a blockage, but if there's a leak, then what it doesn't is it doesn't actually build the pressure it needs
Got it.
to turn over. That's why the stuff turned on, but it wouldn't turn over. Kind of like when um, you've done the thing where your furnace just tries to kick over and
Oh, totally.
You take
Many,
out the
many
thing and you
times.
clean it, right?
Well, yeah, you just take a little alcohol swab and
Yep.
yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Got
So
it.
he's like, all right, let me. It's like, let me get the blowtorch so I can fix your fridge.
Yeah, let me void your warranty here so it works for the next 15 fucking years.
Yeah. Well, that was it because he pulled the pipe out a little bit and basically like clamped one part and welded the thing shut. And I'm like, so is this? It was sort of like the donut question. I was like, so is this something I limp to the station with and need to fix like for real in 15 years? He's like, this will fix this. Your fridge is never going to break
You're
again.
fine. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I asked him since he said there was a leak. I was like, so like a refrigerant leak, bro. Is like I was like, are me and the dog looking at like mega cancer at some point? He's,
He's leaking out asbestos.
and he's like, no. It's just like people have been dosed with this stuff like big time. It's like, as a matter of fact, this one fucking idiot. He's like, you're not gonna believe this. This one fucking idiot decided that he'd actually knock the ice out of his freezer with a hammer and chisel. And
Wait a minute.
I shit you not, he's just like he's like this one fucking moron. He's like like his wife was going crazy. She's like, "Are you really going to do this?" He's like, "How else am I supposed to do this?"
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
But yeah, he's actually describing the exact situation that I did to that little fridge over there.
Which is no longer here.
Nope.
Yep. So it's cooked.
It's it'll still keep things cold. That is not a permanent answer though.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So eventually, when you get down to your backup shirt, right, and then you wreck
Oh
that
man.
playing football, you have to deal
You
with
got to get a new shirt.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're telling me you'll be there next week without a shirt.
That's yeah, and that's that. Like when you do that, if you're at school, that's like when like child services come by and you're like, "Are you okay?
I'm
Do
fine.
you need
Yeah.
clothes?" So,
When's the last time you ate a vegetable? Yeah.
yeah, no shit, man. So,
So
but I just
anyway,
got
this one's
confident.
working now.
Works great.
Awesome.
Works
Yeah.
absolutely great. Um, couldn't be happier. Yeah, he's just like parts labor, everything. It's like $170. He's like, but a lot of guys won't do this. He's like, there's a lot of guys who look at this and they don't want to do the work, so just like you're better off buying it in the fridge.
Well, you found a guy then.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
See, that's nice.
Yeah.
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 That's hard to find now. Fuck.
Well, eventually, I'm gonna have to find a guy who's willing to basically de-jungle my yard and basically, grind all that shit um into pulp.
I don't know, man. Your yard's kind of like it's almost forming its own like fortress around here
It most certainly is. I
now.
don't want that. That's like
Dude,
the,
you should see my backyard. It's just as bad.
but it's not yours. It's community.
Kind of.
Is there like a section you're supposed to like? They're like,
Yeah,
this is you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
HOA is like fire hazard and whatever. I'm like, fuck it, let it burn.
That sounds like a you problem, not a
Yeah,
me
not me
problem.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Dude, it's so funny. Over the last couple days on X, I've seen all these like fucking bullshit things about like people with their HOA like forcing them out of their houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna evict you. It's like they can't. It's your house.
Right. Right.
Okay, so they can put a lien against your house, but it's for like $25 to fix up your yard. Come on, man.
Like I think they can continue to rack up charges,
They can, but it
like
would
to
have,
fine you, but
yeah, but like with every HOA meeting, that's like another $100 or something like that.
right.
It's like,
Right.
come on, man.
Well, I mean that's the weird thing is you have to abide by that court, right? So
Well, exactly. And then, I mean, there's a point to it where it's like they're not going to take your fucking, they're not going to steal your fucking house from you.
right. Right.
Yeah. So
They'll fine you, but yeah, that's the
okay, fine,
enforcement part. Yeah.
whatever. Send me the collections, whatever.
Well,
You're
because
not.
here's the thing is like if you go out there and either A, buy the house, right, or if you buy it outright or whatever, or you get the loan from the
If you
credit
buy it
union.
right out, then fuck them.
Well, I
So,
mean, they can fine you, but so what?
it'll cost them in order to put the lien on your house, and then we'll actually collect from it.
Right,
So yeah.
right. But they can't. There's no version of this where neglecting to pay fines gives them some sort of legal authority to kick you out.
No, there's no point in time where the sheriff is going to show up and fucking
Right,
shoot you if you don't
right,
leave. You know?
right. Thank you. Um,
Exactly. Yeah. Even if it is Roscoe and Enos, whatever. You know?
I think those guys would side with the homeowner.
Those guys, yeah,
I
totally.
think those
Yeah.
guys would. Yeah, it's like, well, it's nothing in the Constitution that says he can't hang this here naked lady up in this window.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This fucking light lamp. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as the naughty bits are facing on the inside, there's not too
Yeah,
much you can
it's,
do
it's
about
only
that.
fine. If your wife's okay with it, it's okay with me. Yeah.
That's gonna. Now, with my wife, no, no, absolutely
No,
not.
no, absolutely not. I mean, we got to be at church dinner next weekend. We
Bible
don't have to
says,
talk about this.
a good book says, if this is left eye, it's causing you to sin. You got to poke that thing right out.
Here's your fork. Have at
Ever
it.
tell about my cousin One Eye Jones? See, he's the thing is he did that exact thing
He,
right there.
yeah, he got crosswise with his HOA.
So that doesn't happen. All right, so
Right, exactly, man. So I'm sorry, man. I just I don't know what you got me started on the other day, but something on X is just looking at this housing thing and stuff like that. And
oh, we were talking a lot about that, right? We
we
were talking a lot
were,
about like
yeah.
housing prices and like trends and what it is that is
What?
the actual current youth right now basically really behind the eight ball like they say they are.
Well, and I think they might be in some respects, but the whole thing that what was it that we were fucking talking about the other day? It was people owning more than one home.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I bumped across a couple of videos on that on YouTube that are just completely off base on that one, man.
What's the story?
I don't really know, man, but um somebody posted something on there the other day about boomers keeping two or three fucking houses and choking everybody out of the market kind of thing.
Right. Right.
And the number of people who actually own more than one home is surprisingly small. And most of the times, those statistics are based upon people who have a fucking cabin or a timeshare somewhere else.
Okay. All
And it
right.
was like, okay, so that's not really the issue. And I was looking at the whole thing about BlackRock owning fucking entire neighborhoods and stuff like that. And
There's some truth to that, isn't there?
there's a little bit of truth in that, but it's really dependent on where you are. So, because I mean, it's an investment company, so I mean, they'll go to places where they can make money.
Right. Which would be really problematic, I presume, in places like Phoenix or Flagstaff or whatever. Here, for example. Right.
Maybe, but see, that's the thing. I was looking at it. There's a report that came out the other day about places where rent have actually declined quite a bit,
Yeah.
and here is one of them.
The
So,
whole state or just this city?
just a city. So I don't know about the rest of the state, but this city here, rents were down 15% over the last year. Um,
Meaning what? Is that so?
well, median rent price for whatever it is that you're looking for
Well, no, I got you.
was down.
Yeah, but that's the tricky part, right? Is all right. So if demand had stayed the same, then the prices would stay the same, if not
You would think
increase,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Is there something where people are cohabitating, moving back in? What is did they account for?
Well, some of it is definitely cohabitating, but that's more so in your bigger markets like, San Francisco, LA,
Yeah,
New
New
York,
York.
Washington, places like
Yeah.
that. Um, but then there was another list that was put out the other day, just a couple days ago, that was you know, it had something to do with like overall rent prices compared to income.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so where there's certain parts in the United States where it's poking up to about 30, 40%.
That's a true story, yeah.
Well, it's
Depending
totally a
on where
true
you live,
story,
right?
but if you actually take a look at the top 100 um, rental markets in the world,
Yeah.
New York is like 99
99
out of
to the
100
bottom or to the top?
to the bottom.
Okay.
So there's so many other places out there where rents are so much more horrifying.
So are we talking about the city and the boroughs, or are we talking about the entire state?
I think this was just the city.
I presume it's okay.
It
All
was
right.
based upon what is it? MTAs, metropolitan population,
That would do it.
MPAs,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
So, kind of thing. But then they were looking at like there's all these places and like fucking 90 of them are in Europe.
That's to be expected, man.
Yeah. And
Jesus.
they
Yeah.
weren't even counting some of the Chinese cities, which are apparently bananas bad. So in terms of like rent versus income. So, but New York, like on this top list of like 100, it was like 95. And it was the worst American city, even above LA and San Francisco. So,
LA, I could believe because LA's flat.
totally.
Yeah. LA.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, the whole point behind it was like, oh my God, like rent to income in so many different places in the world is so much fucking worse than it is here.
Mm,
So, yeah,
yeah, but those are. You're right, especially when you talk to Europeans. I mean, there's look, half of them are already convinced to live in a pod and eat the bugs. Like it's
dude, it's terrible in Japan. So in China, like they didn't even have stats on this, but they had projected ones where it was like, so here, like in America, the average like purchase price to income is like 4 to 1. Okay, meaning that if you make $100,000 a year, it would take you about 4 years to pay off or to buy a house,
right.
so to
If you
speak,
gave
if you
every
gave every last
right,
fucking penny to that.
right.
So, whereas in China, it's like 30 to 1. It's bananas.
Well,
So,
and in their case, it's particularly worse because of
yeah, they have that lease thing. Yeah,
not just the lease thing, but also with the investments that they made in apartments
correct.
that fucking completely
Well,
like
yeah.
the two. This is the funny thing is the 2008 like recession, the mortgage crisis here. That's like a mild fart compared to what that
Right.
actually
Yeah,
is
exactly.
in China that they still have not
They don't
reconciled.
have any laws to actually back up property law.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they have no reconciliation for that. There's just a whole bunch of people that are essentially fooked, right, and
exactly.
um,
Yeah.
they get that's the thing. They get no attention from it because they're not supposed to, right?
Oh no, you don't fight against the state there, man. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, so to the south of us, that nation is in turmoil right now.
So I saw a couple things about that. I don't know what's going on there. Fill me in.
All right, so
This is
evidently
Mexico, right?
this is Mexico.
Okay.
So the situation is there was surprise, surprise, a mayoral assassination. Um,
In Mexico City or
Not Mexico City. I don't
okay.
remember which city it is right offhand, but it's one of many, right? One of many that the
Yeah.
cartel has put in the ground. And so the Jewish lady running Mexico right now was one of the people that survived when a lot of her opponents ended up in the dirt. So it's
Or cyanide barrels. Got it.
right.
Yeah, right.
And so
Yeah.
there's what they don't have is essentially a smoking gun per se. There's evidence, but there's not. I can I can say for sure. I have this picture of you shaking hands with the cartel leaders, but there's a lot of yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty clear you're in cahoots, and so there is.
Well, how do you survive in that nation without being in cahoots with those guys?
Well, that is exactly what they're pissed off about,
Got it.
and it is not the crazy thing here is it is evidently bipartisan. It is essentially they're saying themselves as Gen Zers, right? They're declaring themselves that way. It's a youth movement, And basically, at this point, they've had it with um, their government's ties with the cartels. They saw, just the most recent assassination. They're like, we're done with this.
Hmm.
They didn't like that their president was denying help from the United States to deal with the cartels. They're like, everything that you say about this stinks, right? So it's pretty clear you're protecting these people, and they are tearing the shit out of Mexico City.
Okay, so I did see a couple things on riots in Mexico City like yesterday.
Yeah, there's
Is
like,
that what's that? Is that the deal there?
yeah, over a
Okay.
hundred cops injured.
Okay.
Yeah, they ain't fucking around. Um, this is not burning down a Tesla dealership while you carry a Palestinian flag. This is not
This is
stand
like more like Myanmar, where like all the kids show up at once and
right,
say "fuck the fuck off." Yeah.
right. This
Okay.
is not. Yeah, this is not outside the ICE facility in Portland wearing a frog and unicorn suit.
Got
And
it.
this again, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to it's like if you throw around the word fascism too much, right? And you're out there in a frog and unicorn suit, and the authorities, out of just sheer annoyance, wearing their Darth Vader masks, have not actually beat the crap out of you. That's not a fascist state.
What are these guys in Mexico? Do they have a legit bitch here?
It seems like it.
Okay.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Their biggest thing is they're like, why is it that all your opponents ended up in the dirt?
Okay, that seems like a legit bitch.
And again, that's the same thing. It's like, all right, why are you when people keep trying to negotiate to help you to put a stop to this, why are you stonewalling them? Why
Yeah.
aren't you? Yeah, and they have a point because if anything, she owes them an answer, right? If she can go out there and say, like, look, let me go ahead and open the books for you. Let me show you how I've been trying to fight these guys from start to finish,
Yeah.
right? Let me show you. I'm going to drive you to my house. These are all the bullet holes that I've had to spackle, right? Because people keep firing me,
Yeah. Sure.
but that's not happening.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So
Yeah.
I just yeah, you're right. That blew up on X the last 2 days. I just haven't had time to actually look into it that much, man.
Yeah.
I honestly, to be fair, I mean, I still have my like three main issues that I tailgate.
Right. Right.
Um, but the Venezuela one has actually been like moving its way up my list lately. So
I don't know how that's going to play out.
I have no idea, bro. So I mean, fucking Donald Trump is rolling up heavy on them. So
There's a little bit of brinksmanship here. Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on with that, man. So I mean, I've seen all the Hegseth posts about us blowing up fucking speedboats and shit. So and then all the crying about like, oh, we're a fisherman. I was like, yeah, come on, man.
Do you fish in a submarine?
You fish in a submarine, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
kind of thing. And
The
so,
fucking disingenuousness of it is ridiculous.
but it's just kind of interesting that a watch. I mean, our government actually roll up on South America, or I mean, I guess Central America a little bit more than it has in the last fucking 30 years. So
Yeah. In the
it's been a
80s.
minute.
Yeah.
It's been a minute, and I mean, how do you fucking defend, guys who are running like boats full of fucking fentanyl up here? You can't.
You don't.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
blow them up.
Well, and that's what they're doing. And there's really no defense against that other than, oh my God, international law. It's like, it's international waters. This is basically piracy.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's like, well, if we got a USS Ford in the area.
Well, I mean, and that's the funny thing too, is you stop and say, like, all right, so guys, I need to explain this to you. It's like every waterway on this planet is safe for travel because we permit it, right? It's essentially,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
not to like brag about this on a country level or anything, but the United States protects most all. Well, there are some like spots over there in East Asia and stuff that are like, we got this.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
You don't really got it, but they say they've got it. right?
Yeah, but you can call for backup
Right,
if you need it.
right.
Yeah.
But in terms of actually keeping those things safe, that's what the United States does. And if you see submarines
Loaded with drugs.
in international waters,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what exactly are you going to say? Go, because they know where those are going.
well, of
So
course.
yeah,
Now, I understand that the procedure is generally to, you flip on the lights and sirens, and and you ask them to pull over.
but if they don't,
Right, right,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
you get Hellfire missiles. Yeah,
that's
with
correct.
really, really good visuals too.
I gotta tell you, yeah, that's the
They're pretty
thing
fun
is
to
that they're
watch,
fun to
man. They're
watch.
fun to watch. Reminds me of like 1991 Gulf War.
Well, kind of, and that's the thing is with the. All right, so if you look at that great footage of like World War II, and you're looking like the battleships, you're looking at the sea battles and stuff like this.
Right.
We don't have that anymore,
No.
right? So the what we have left of this is basically fucking speedboats getting hit from orbit.
And nobody feels sad for any of them, man. I mean, you know,
Did you?
no, of course not, man. It's like pull over. No, okay. We're gonna
Okay.
put this on TikTok now.
Like, yeah, roll camera. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
roll cam. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
no, you're not kidding, man. It's crazy. It's like
Wave goodbye to your kids. You know?
pretty much. And
Yeah,
here's the thing. You and I both know this. You blow up enough of them, it'll stop.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know
Yeah,
that sounds crazy. They're just kind of like, well, you can't sink them all. It's eventually you say like, all right, what if I get through? Okay, gotcha. There's that one time.
yeah. You snuck one in, one flag plane on our base. You know, but
But I
yeah,
will eventually get blown up.
yeah.
Well, this is, I mean, in the same thing when they actually look at the. I saw it was an Axios article, right? Which
Oh.
means it's not worth the fucking
Could be
bandwidth.
hot garbage, but might be legit sometimes.
Axios posted some numbers about, hey, we monitored the border crossings.
Oh, they're way down.
The one in particular they were looking at was actually at zero. Now,
Yeah.
in their article, they said it's still impossible to determine why this has gone down to this number.
Come on, man.
They wrote it.
Come
It's
on.
in that article. Yes,
Come on.
that's. Look, okay. There's a lot of people right now. I guarantee. Look, remember how many people cared about Palestine 2 months ago or a month ago, actually, right?
Yeah, they got to find a new thing to plant their
That's
flag
correct.
on. Yeah.
Because according to them, this thing just worked itself out, right? This is just like time healed all wounds. It just naturally,
Oh, yeah, it's all cool now, and we can all go there and have cafe. You know,
yeah,
yeah.
the skin just grafted. I mean, that's there's no version of this of like even under the breath, like, oh, thanks, dude.
Jeff, the amount of silence that I've seen over Palestine over the last month, from guys that I kind of keep a brick on to,
Uh,
like watch y'all. There's just nothing there. They're looking for new things, at this point in time,
or you're blowing
because
up fishing boats.
you're
Yeah,
blowing up fishing boats, I mean,
you're
now that,
displacing brown communities.
well, and the ships is going to Africa and blah, 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 and all this stuff.
What
There's
about
just,
Africa? What's the story?
oh, there's all kinds of wars going on down there, and all of a sudden they've been going on for the last 4 fucking years, and now everybody's getting butthurt about them, kind of thing, and, like the whole, I don't know, man. So I get this whole thing with America First and Marjorie Taylor Greene and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
And like I want to talk to you about that a little bit,
right,
just because she
right.
is absolutely flipped over to the other side now.
She has.
And so I didn't think there was an actual conduit in the horseshoe, but there is actually a bridge that you can jump over there.
Yeah, it's so like when the planets are at their furthest apart, right? But every 500 years, they actually
It's new
come close to
quantum,
each other.
yeah. So, but anyway, I don't want to get on that just right off the bat because I don't want to leave this point on the table here. We could talk about that in a minute.
All right.
So, but the thing about this, like this whole like just the Palestine thing is evaporating in the wind, and I watch all these guys who are like, foreign policy restrainers. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Who have completely gone silent on this issue over the last, like, I'd say month or so. I mean, it'll pop up every now and then because they'll talk about like, oh my God, somebody's violating the ceasefire, yada yada yada. But it's this whole idea that violence doesn't solve anything, but it actually fucking does from time to time, and
Right.
if as long as it's used judiciously, and if it's actually directed in a way that actually points towards peace,
Right.
sometimes it's the best balm for that wound, and I think the IDF and Israel have proved that now
Yeah.
at this point in time. And I think Donald Trump is doing that in Venezuela, in some respects. And then, this whole thing about us backing off of China and Taiwan and all that stuff also says is like, all right, so we don't need to use violence to solve this problem, but we will if we need to,
Right.
kind of thing,
Right.
and it's just like, all right, so all these guys who, oh, war is bad, blah, 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 past wars, Afghanistan, Iraq, blah, 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 all bad. It's
I'll
like,
never disagree with you.
well, I get that, but it's still at the same point in time, okay, fine. All right. So, but that doesn't mean that it's a tool that you have to take out of the toolbox, and
No.
I think the IDF has proved that exceptionally well, in some respects. It's like, hey, there's fuckers over there who are going to come over here and Viking raid us.
Correct. Right.
And then they get sorted out. And then eventually the Viking raids stop.
That's
And now we can
Yep.
move forward, at a point in time like this. And, but no, there's just that crowd out there that's just constantly seeking this way to actually prove that whatever it is that we do, whatever it is that we try to do, it's all bad.
right.
And
Right.
it's like, okay, fine. Well, fucking put up your pennies, man. So, because you got nothing,
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
And I think
there's no more right a person can be on that.
well, and I think the same thing's going through with Venezuela. It's like, all right, so fucking fine. All right, it's a legit nation and it's got this UN recognized government, blah, blah, blah. But it's a fucking drug cartel. All right. And so if they're going to send fucking submarines our way, we're going to depth charge them. And what are you going to do about it? And the answer is nothing.
Right.
Well,
I know that the British have said we're not going to be sharing any more intelligence with you because we can't support this.
well, fuck the fuck off.
Well, that's kind of it. It's like, hey, well, listen, buddy.
Not your problem, our problem. We'll see you at the reunion.
We'll see. And here's the thing, man. Look, I know that. Look, all right. I get it. We were holding on to your hedge trimmer, right? Do we really want to get down to brass tacks and say who's borrowed more shit from who? Because if I go in there, there's a lot of fucking like property of Mr.
Exactly.
Jeffrey over there labels. Because that's the thing is like, okay, so you withhold that. All right. No offense, Britain. Okay, I love you to death, Hall. It's like we had, we actually sorted out our problems amicably, like brothers, right? Which nobody seems to do. Except
that was
for
a
us.
long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
But that's we kept the language, we kept their stupid measurements. I mean, that's the thing is we hung in there with them. We didn't rename a whole bunch of cities when fucking things change. You didn't. It's like, oh, St. Petersburg. It's like, oh, it's like a pave right over this. But but that's the thing is, so of the two of us, who do you think gets more information from the other? You have the one nation that gathers all data everywhere at all times with all their space shit, right? Then you have the country that did something like that with boats 120 years ago and is now relegated to one little island and some little islands that they split with us. Some of these are U.S., some of these are British, right?
Look, man, I want to be a little gentle on the British here. So just because they're going through a thing.
Yeah.
They're going through a thing. All right, so We got you, man. You know, it's cool. I'm sorry we exported some of that shit to you, but you know, I mean, they just like
Well,
I get it. I
it's up to you to stop it at the door if you don't want it.
well, yeah, and that's that. Like I was talking to my British buddy tonight, man, and just is a little bit forlorn,
How?
you
Okay.
know, and
How
it's
did he
like,
say it? Yeah.
well, he doesn't know if he wants to go back, so
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing, and. You know, I mean, the whole thing. They had that whole blow up last week on fucking the BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the worst thing wasn't even their Donald Trump like editing stuff. It was that guy. Did you see that 100-year-old fucking
The World War II vet.
yeah? And
That
he was
was
like,
fucking heartbreaking.
dude, and that chick like
She tried to change the subject so
so
fast,
fast.
but the guy was like, "No,
What do you
no,
mean
no,
by
no,
that?
no."
What do you
He's
mean
like,
by this? Yeah, but I mean that just spread like fucking wildfire. I mean that burned down my Twitter feed for a day, you know, like with all that stuff. And, you know, it's just like, all right, man. So y'all not lost, man. You just you have to like poop this thing out.
"Well, all right, this is so."
That was heartbreaking, man.
That one got me. I
That
mean,
one
it
got
was,
me
and
too.
again, that thing that you were saying, where that part where that chick is really trying to change. She's really trying to get around that corner. She's like, "We got to put a stop to this."
Oh, and we all love you and blah blah blah. And it was
Mad
just like
respect to that dude who's like, "No, no, no, you're gonna
no,
say
no,
it.
no, no.
Talk."
Yeah,
Yeah,
let it out.
yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
know, and you got 100-year-old veteran who was just like
He
he
he was like, he was almost in tears.
he
He was,
was in
yeah.
tears, man. So and it was just like, oh my god, dude. I mean,
Well, this is all right, and again, this is
that was brutal.
you catch it
That
on,
was brutal.
yeah, you catch it on the chin for a lot of times where other countries will look at you and they'll say like, "Oh man, you guys and your firearms and this disgraceful and all this other shit." It's like, all right, okay, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so um, tell me, what did you do when the government said you all have to get a digital ID? Did you
Yeah,
do something about it, or did you
yeah,
get a digital ID? Like
yeah.
a bitch. And they said, well, I was like a bitch and I just got it because I couldn't do anything about it. No problem. All right. So a long time ago, right, these guys said, we have to have something in place that says, if you guys really disagree with something, right, really disagree,
Hmm.
this is just something that says, pump the brakes, motherfucker. It's like, I just remember, right?
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that people are out there, that the people with the majority of those weapons are not the people out on the streets. You never want to get those people on the streets because if you get them on the streets, things are going to
You
change.
got problems.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real big
you got
problems.
real big problems.
And so that's the tricky part here is there is a limit to what our government will say, like, all right, I understand both houses are willing to pass this. I understand the president's willing to sign this. I understand the Supreme Court is willing to uphold it. I still wouldn't do it
Yeah,
because this
yeah,
will be the end of us if we do.
yeah, exactly.
And you're sitting there looking at Britain, and the thing is, okay, well, even though you don't have firearms, why are you not outside the capital? Why are you guys not actually? Eventually, you have to let them know. There is a point where
Yeah.
you say, we're not willing to tolerate this anymore. But you just let them tolerate the next thing.
Well, and my buddy Brenton was telling me about that today a little bit. He's just like,
Terrifying.
well, he didn't think it was terrifying. He was just like, all right, so eventually going to find out, man, you know, that
Well,
this is still Britain, you know. Um, so the way he was explaining it to me is both the parties have kind of painted themselves into a corner there
yeah,
on certain
yeah, I
things.
can
And,
believe it.
you know, eventually it's just going to leave the opening for, you know, a whole bunch of people to actually put in their chips on something.
Right.
And it's going to be shocking when that happens. And that's already happening. You were talking about that the other day. You know, after we got off the call.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, where he was like, I don't know. what Scandinavian nation it was, but where like eventually the other party flipped over and said, "Fuck this."
We have to take this issue. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, man. I watch the Democrats here, and they're not doing it. So they're not going to do it for probably another 5 to 10 years. You know, I mean, I've seen all this stuff about JD Vance this week about being a poser and whatnot and stuff like that. I was like,
That's all you got.
that, yeah, exactly. I was like, that is really wishful thinking.
That's what you're limping to the barn with is
Exactly.
he's a poser.
Well, yeah, he's fake, whatever. I'm like, you guys don't talk to real people, do you? I mean,
Well, no, that's fine. All right, I got you. All right, so who's the realist in your crowd?
right, yeah, exactly.
Who's the straight up fucking
Mandami?
yeah?
Yeah, come on,
Who's the
man.
straight up
Yeah.
fucking G that you're actually gonna? No, that's the thing is you go to it and say like, oh well, AOC is for real. It's like, no, she's not. This is the upstate New York fucking private school and gigantic
Yeah,
mansion she lived in.
She's more real than the other guy. So
Oh, Hakeem Jeffries.
no, like nobody cares about
Oh,
Hakeem
he's a
Jeffries.
fucking cartoon.
He's
He is. Yeah, he is.
He's a placeholder.
Like if you actually drew his face, people would think you're making a caricature.
hmm
They're like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the New York mayor.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went and I looked at all the statistics on that. I think I mentioned this the other day, where like 30% of the New York electorate was not born in the United
No.
States.
Mm-mm.
Okay, but out of I pulled it up. It was like 7.5 million eligible voting residents in New York. Only 1.8 million of them actually voted. It was tiny.
That's weird. Okay.
It was tiny. So, and it was just like, all right. So if he
Huh.
fucks up the city, are you guys gonna wreck him? I mean,
You'd think so. It's happened before.
it has happened before several times.
Yeah.
But still at the same point in time, I mean, I see the Democrats kind of elevating him beyond the AOC thing, especially now that Pelosi is gone and stuff like that.
Right.
And Chuck Schumer is wrecked. He is donezo.
Dude's got nothing.
No, he's done, man. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
over the course of his career, I've had quite a bit of respect for him for actually like punching, back on certain, or at least working with like McConnell and stuff like that over the years.
Well, there's a little bit
But
of
he's cooked. So he's cooked at this point in time. He's a senator in a state that is going a little bit rogue. But it's basically being led around by like 15% of its electorate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not going to
true.
work out for him, man. Well, he's probably done anyway, but even then, you just take a look at the Democrat, like the bench.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Oh, there's
It's
no
absolutely terrible. I mean,
There's no
it's
doubt.
fucking
Yeah.
people like fucking shit bombing, like Newsom every week, and I still don't think he's going to run. So
I have no idea. At
I
this
don't think he's
point,
going to run.
I don't feel
I think it
comfortable.
don't matter.
I don't feel comfortable giving it Vegas odds. I think there's this
Can't give it Vegas odds unless I'm trying to take your money.
well, that's the thing. I can't put it at like 65-35 because there's a component of me that says, all right, the reason that he keeps throwing this shit out here is he's just fishing. It's like, is it
Yeah,
gonna work?
exactly.
Is it gonna work? Is it work? And if he gets a nibble, I think he might go for it. Right? If he sees
It's a good way to put that. Yeah.
if he sees some kind of crack that his greasy ass can actually slither through, right? I think he'd do
He
it,
might take it. Yeah,
right?
he might
And I
be
think
right.
that's why he has the 14-year-olds on his fucking Twitter account, basically saying troll shit all the time to see if something actually catches, right? If he
So you're
says
just
something,
trolling, yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
if he throws something out there that actually gains momentum, he'd roll with it, right?
Yeah.
I understand that, of course, Kamala Harris is still kind of like wandering around and saying, like,
Yeah,
actually,
but she just eats his bait. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, like fish in the same small pond. So,
totally understand. And that's the other people that are kind of floating it around here. It's like, all right, I get it. Um, and you have people like the tour. This shit was like making me laugh. Here is man, I had the opinion there for a little bit. I thought Michelle Obama was actually a little bit like cooler than she is,
She's not.
but she has been on this fucking like white people dance like this tour for
Yeah,
the
she
past
has.
like
Yeah.
month, where I could not believe this shit. And this.
Why is she still a thing? I don't get that.
Well, and of all things at this point to say, like, all right, what I need to really have to do is I need to sit down on the stage here and talk about. I need to talk about how
I saw this.
it's about hair.
Yep.
Now, here's the interesting thing about this, because some dipshit, chimed in. He's because that's the thing is I was just kind of laughing. I'm like, I've known quite a few white people for my time.
Sure.
I have never seen a white person gatekeep a black woman for her hair.
No.
Now, some asshole, some white asshole at that, because of course, chimed in and said, like, this is a very common problem. This is like, and the thing is, when you look at the information, there's something very, very interesting about this. Because they'll point the numbers and say 1 in 5 black women has been sent home because of her hair. And
From what? From
hang on,
school?
hang on, it gets better. And it says that something to the tune of like 14% have been discriminated or not been basically been rejected for a job because of their hair. Now, dig a little bit deeper. Do you know how they got that figure?
No, but I'm sure it's bullshit.
It's self-reported.
Yeah, okay.
It is whether a person believes that they were sent home because of their hair or believes that they did not get a job because of their hair. And
Nothing to do with qualifications. Got it.
well,
Yeah.
look, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to look at those 1 out of 5 things and say attendance problem, punctuality, attendance problem, punctuality. Like, I'm not going to pick on you. I'm going to sit there and say, well, I know why you got fired. Okay. I know why you got fired. Don't fuck
Yeah.
with me. It's like,
Yeah.
this is what everybody gets in trouble for. Okay.
Yeah, and if you actually blew that out to the point in time where it was all people, you'd probably find the same instance of like amongst all races. See, this is the thing it's getting under my skin a little bit lately, and this is the thing that I've been like diving into a little bit with like the fight on the right lately,
Mm,
where it's just like fucking stop it. Didn't we just learn this lesson? I
yeah.
mean, yeah, come on, guys. So, and it's just like, no, it has nothing to do with your identity. It has to do with whether or not you fucking show up. you know? So, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. So,
Well, I'm just going
well, I mean,
to.
Jeff, I was thinking about this the other day, and honestly, I say it's way better than it was about a year ago.
It is.
And if we went back and dug
Yes.
into our podcast archives, we would have shit that we were bitching about back then. Nowadays, like we listen to it now and be like, "Yeah, that was nothing."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny. Like you said, you talk about like going back to it here, right? In theory, okay, when you're talking about the Palestine people, in theory, that river, right?
right.
Those waters should have flown right back to Ukraine because that ain't done,
No, that ain't done, man.
right? That's the thing. There's still a fucking tyrant over there, still, over there causing trouble, still causing death, still causing mayhem, still ruining the lives of everyone around there. But
A lot of people.
man, that's funny. Once you took the blue and yellow flag out of your profile, shit, I guess they're dead to you.
But it's still a thing, man.
Correct.
So, like I said, that's like one of the 3 issues that I tailgate, and it's just bad. So
Well,
it's just bad, man. I mean, like, yeah, but you're right. A whole bunch of people who are on one side of the political perspective, like, completely waved that flag until Palestine happened,
right.
and now that Palestine is basically cooked,
Yes.
they're not picking that flag back up. they're finding other things to talk about like rent control and stuff.
Right,
You know,
right.
and it's
Africa,
like
I guess.
Africa, yeah, that's another thing. But it's just like, no, man. I mean, that's still a thing. There's still people dying every fucking day.
Right,
On that,
right.
and it's goddamn awful. But still, at the same point in time, I mean, this is another one of those things where, like, oh, we'll stop the violence. It's like, no, actually, violence is the issue here. Okay, so and honestly, these guys are getting really fucking good at it. So that just means that we're going to get to a point in time where somebody's going to duck out of it eventually.
Right.
And I mean, I saw a couple things this last week about like corruption in Ukraine. I was like, yeah, I get it, man. It's war. That
Yeah.
happens. Okay, I understand that, but still, at the same point in time, I mean, $100 million here or there doesn't solve this issue, man. This is one guy, and he's a critical piece, man. If you pull him out of the whole thing just, I mean, he's it's like Tetris, man. He's that one
Okay.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, he's that one guy, and if that goes down, all the blocks get cleared out, and you're good.
Well, this is one of the things that was interesting about it. Now, of course, you've probably seen a lot of the same people that I have, where they basically look daily at. Well, I don't know how to say it. It's like it's so over. It's basically like
I don't
um,
believe any of those guys anymore, man.
totally
Yeah,
understand because you'll see like okay, so they drone struck whatever it is this oil refinery. It's so over, right?
doesn't
This
matter.
is this should be done within a week. Now,
Doesn't matter.
I will say this: if the people are concerned, the same people that are concerned about Ukraine should be the same people concerned about Russia, because that's the thing is those people are when the part that got to me when they said like, all right, so where are the troops coming from? Well,
In Russia,
yes, they're being sucked out of everywhere that is
everywhere
not
that's not St.
Moscow and
Petersburg, and
yeah,
yeah,
right.
yep.
And so these towns, these areas where all the material and all this other stuff is coming from, these places are hurt.
They got no boys. They got no infrastructure anymore. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like there was a big thing that happened the other day where there was this like fucking humongous like water pipe break that flooded this entire fucking town.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it was like in the middle of nowhere, and everybody's like, "Oh, what do we do about this?" And it's like, "Well, there's nobody around here to fix this, so just make do," kind of thing. Dude,
Yeah.
it's fucking awful, man. I feel so bad for the Russians on a certain
It's kind
level.
of yeah.
I feel really bad for them, man, because like they'll make appeals to the federal government there, like, "Hey, help us," and blah blah blah, and they'll just get ignored. And I mean the same thing. I mean, I'm sure on Telegram you've seen all the gas lines and stuff like that. Where people
Oh,
are lined up for like fucking days to
it's
get like
ridiculous. Oh
2 liters
yeah,
of
yeah.
gas.
And you're talking about
So
in the actual cities too.
totally,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. But then like all these mothers and all these like
Widows,
widows,
essentially. Yeah.
yeah, who get no word. And I mean it's just awful. And I mean the same thing is true in Ukraine. I mean you see them striking Kiev every single night, blowing up like fucking apartment buildings. They're not even going after factories anymore. They go
Yeah.
after places where people will congregate, kind of thing. And, it's just
Straight up shit that's been illegal since fucking World War One. Yeah.
exactly.
Oh.
And so it's just like, all right. So the only solution to this is violence. We've gotten to that point. And so, I mean, okay, fine. We're not going to get involved in World War III.
No,
That would have happened,
no, you're right. You're
but
right.
it's not going to happen. But Russia can't take Ukraine. Ukraine can't get their shit back. So they're just going to have to wait until somebody falls. And quite honestly, if Zelensky got shot in the head tomorrow,
Yeah.
there'd be a new guy.
Yeah.
So if Putin got shot in the head tomorrow, the war would
We're
be
done.
over.
Yeah.
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 So
Well, and this is the part of this that I did think was interesting was, and I didn't think about it this way, was um, they pointed out, with all those things that have been happening and how they've been draining all the resources and men out of these places, evidently there's been sort of like a discontent in the many states that compose Russia.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of this where um, one of the things that's really problematic right now is okay, so you can't take Ukraine.
Nope.
You have failed to do so, and you fucked us over in the process. So the question is, what do we need you for? Right? And so there is a question of like, all right, so when the dust settles, if the dust settles, right? Yeah, because here's the thing: Putin will not live forever. It is,
No, there's
it,
been pictures of him lately that he's like fucking. I mean, he's got so many doubles and stuff like that, and they do so much stuff on social media you can't really tell. But there's been like some things that came out lately that he is fucking old.
yeah,
Yeah,
and you've seen it. You've
I
seen
don't know if
where,
that's true or not, but
well, you and I both know we've seen this. Like even our youngest presidents, man, like fucking like George W. Bush goes in the office in 2000, and he's got like
comes out looking like his dad.
he goes in there with like just slightly lighter chestnut colored hair,
Yeah,
with just like a touch of
just
gray
a
over there.
touch of frost.
Then he comes out on the other side. He still has like he's still got a little boy face, but it's got some lines in it, and that hair is basically turned flat silver. And then same thing goes with Obama. You're like, wow, look at this young fellow, right?
Yeah, I know.
I had heard that black doesn't crack. Well, it cracks
It
because
cracks. It cracks if you put you in the right office. Yeah.
that's in the right office. Yeah, that's exactly it. When you say like, well, what happens to carbon when you put enough heat and pressure on it? Oh, okay, got it. Now, so yeah, these people come out like completely dusty by the time they get out the other side. Now, put it in Putin's shoes, where it's like, we should have won this.
25 years. Yeah.
Right, we should. And I have all this. My legacy is falling apart. Right, I can't give up on this. Right, it's way too late for me to give up this. I have to see this through.
Yeah, but I know he's going to tell him otherwise. And so that's. I'd
Would
be
you?
curious. No, of course not. He'd fucking shoot me. You know? You know? Or, like I get, introduced to a fifth story window. You know?
Yeah, there are a lot of people, very clumsy people in Russia.
Very clumsy. Yeah, they get a little bit too close to the edge. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man. There's just
See, but that's interesting.
Russian balconies. Yeah,
I'd like to know Marina's like take on like because she was out in Siberia.
she was there. She was at also in um, the peninsula, the Yakutuk.
Oh, the one with the dots from Alaska.
That is correct. Yes,
But see, that's kind of my
as
point.
well.
Is like so because this other thing, and I mean I don't know as many Russians as you do, but I know a few where it's like Russia is Russia, and
Yeah.
so it's like all right, fine, if we're gonna fucking do this, we're gonna do it, kind of thing
Yes.
until you can't, and then nobody actually sees that point in time where you can't, and then it gets crazy, but then it gets good, after that. I have no idea, man. So all I just know is like you know there's a certain element of it too where not totally our business, only our business because there's fucking 2,700 nuclear weapons
That's correct.
in that country. Yeah, probably which of 2,200 are pointed in our direction.
Right. Right.
And so like if it all goes to shit, what happens to those? But we did this back in 1991.
That we did.
The problem is that like there's just nobody in Russia that you can really like trust to actually like see it through responsibly anymore. I don't know, man.
Well,
It's rough. And I mean I get the whole thing about NATO pushing up against our border and blah 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 and stuff like that, but there was no chance over the last 30 years that we would actually like fucking roll tanks on Moscow. And so it's kind
wouldn't
of
be
like
worth anybody's time.
no, and we would never do that. And that's another
No.
thing that like all these restrainer guys don't get. It's like no, man, we're not going to send troops over there because fucking we have two generations of students or folks here in the United States who are like fuck that. I mean, it's you know, I mean, just don't fuck with other people, kind of thing.
Well, I guess that's sort of it. When I try to get to answers to this, and again, you and I have talked about, if you just apply like regular human logic, you come to a different conclusion. You say, all right, well, this is untenable. So
Yeah.
you say, look, um, fucking warlords in the past have stopped attacking when it became untenable. This is not something that you must see through to the end because you've begun. Oh my gosh, no, there are times when you back off.
Yeah.
But that comes down to it. It's the same thing we've talked about where it comes to, well, these sandy places around the world. You say, like, well, logic says you wouldn't do that. Actually, logic says instead of attacking them, you'd attack your government. But that's our logic, right?
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you.
And
I got you.
when it's explained to me about those two groups, right? Specifically those two groups, it said like, you don't understand. These people have been put in an umbrella, but they have not liked each other. It's like these guys have been bad neighbors to each other for a
A
very,
long time.
very long time.
Long time.
Like they had different names when
Yep.
this shit started, right?
Yep.
And uh, the way it was said was, I was I was asking about this. I was like, how do you all see that? From like 1917, like that section right there up until like 1991. Do you look at this as like a blip? Do you say this was like, man, it was a bad time in history? And the thing is, with Russia, it's like, no, it was just like one in a series of bad things that happened,
Yeah.
right? It's just a number of failed experiments, but we always get through it, right? And we're always fighting with our neighbors, and they're always fighting with us, and it's just the way that these people are.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And that's a fucking hell of a thing to
Dude, it's
explain.
like being like stuck in a neighborhood where you just like consistently fight with not just your neighbors, but their parents, their grandparents, their great grandparents.
Yes.
And it's like, well, fuck, I was born into this. When does this stop? Kind of thing.
Look, you and I, we get to eventually we get to a point to it where, like, I know where we stand on this. It's like, look, I understand you want reparations, but my mom didn't come from this country.
Yeah, no. And my parents were here way after that was fucking done. So not my
Absolutely.
problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand that the skin looks a little bit light, but you got to understand, I didn't benefit from your light.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Huh?
So it was like, hey man, I lived this life, not that past life that my parents and grandparents lived.
Right.
And
Right.
that's just that's not a European way to look at things. I mean,
No.
yeah. So, but like if you grew up in a situation like that, you would expect everybody else to think that way. They don't realize that America has always been fundamentally defensive on things. It's like, all right, so we're not going to fuck with anything unless you fuck with this, and then you
Right.
fuck with this, and then it's like, all right, now it's a big deal. So we're going to do this Korean War thing. you know,
Right.
we're not
Right.
going to let you take over that guy in South Vietnam. So, and then on top of that, it's like, yeah, actually, we're going to get the entire UN to roll up on this Saddam Hussein guy here.
Right.
And then it's
Right.
also like, well, you took down two of our buildings, so we're going to wreck your fucking continent.
Well, we've been
You
very
know?
detailed and formal about certain things where, look, we want to make it clear that we're not interested in intervening.
Right.
We'll sign paperwork to the effect.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't do that.
No, 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 no.
Right. Right. I want you all to know where
No,
we
and
stand.
you just don't understand that. It makes it way harder on us to actually do something and something like that. And so it's like, all right, so fine. We'll let Latvia in, but if you fuck up Latvia, then okay, we signed the paper, so here we go.
Right,
Kind
right.
of thing. It's not like, all right, so we're trying to take over Moscow and take all its fucking people and,
We don't want them.
fucking garbage tanks and
Right.
whatever.
All right. This
I don't
is.
care about that. So, I mean, just live and let be. I don't know, man. That's a different discussion for a different time, man. And I'd be curious on her take on some of that stuff,
I'll bring it up.
especially after
Yeah.
living here in America for long enough as she has. They just realize that here's the thing that really rubs most Russians and most Europeans that I've met is America just doesn't give a fuck about you guys. So, I mean, as long as you don't make it a problem for us, it's not a problem, you know. But
If it is a problem, ask.
if it's a problem, ask, and we'll put it through to committee. But really, when it comes down to it, it's like we're not trying to compete with you. You know,
We compete with ourselves.
we do that very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So sorry. I mean, I know you guys are all AAA baseball here, but what?
If you look, if you want to make the argument, and I certainly I won't dispute this. If you want to say you guys compete with yourselves to a fault, I won't disagree. I
Knock
think
yourselves
that
out.
in the same way that you're talking about
We'll do business when you're serious. You know. Yeah.
right, go home, okay, come up with a real number, and
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
no, I got you. Well, I mean that's the thing. Like you're talking about that same like, all right, we're going to hold on to a 1,500-year grudge, right? That's just part
Ain't
of
nobody here's got time for that, man.
that's right. You're right. Well, I could sweat that, but that's not going to put Hamburger Helper on my table. Is the problem,
Yeah.
right? And I was hoping at some point in life to graduate to steak. So I got shit to worry about. But you're right. If you want to talk about two things where it's like, I don't understand how you think, you don't understand how we think, right? Look, you and I can trace this to branches of Christianity that work harder than we ever will in our lives, period. Right?
Sure.
To a fault.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Nope.
Nope.
But they passed it down to their relatives in Pennsylvania and Ohio and all these other
yeah.
places, right?
So some of you wear bonnets and some of you fucking don't join the army, whatever.
Totally understand. And where to us, that's the thing is we all have that perspective of like, well, I don't work hard. I had a grandfather that worked hard, right?
Right.
Or you're like, my dad put. It's like, here's what I think about business. My dad put in 45 years with this company. One dude came in there and basically pulled the rug under for it. And they said, like,
Jack
sorry, guys.
suspension. Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, did that mean that my dad didn't work hard? No, he worked his fucking ass
And it
off.
doesn't mean that I'm gonna fucking attack St. Louis next week.
No, no. And that's what I'm talking about
You
is,
just move forward, man.
and that's the thing is, yeah, we eventually get over it. Actually, we get over it pretty quickly.
Dude, we get over shit way quickly. I mean, like, what we got, like 4 years of fucking podcast here? Oh my God, you go back 2 years and think about the shit that we were bitching about. And there's whatever.
Well, all right. So there are things. It's interesting that we actually like documented from this part because there are some significant things we were talking about happening. Then they happened, and then we've seen the changes,
We've
right?
gotten solved.
Because I'm going to say it like this: we started this venture right before COVID,
Right
and
after COVID.
well, just a little bit before.
Well, I thought we were a little bit after.
Well, it's
Yeah.
so the thing is, it's before the lockdowns and shit happen. It
Okay.
is remember because we're talking about this thing in China. Remember because that's when you told me this is no big deal. I was
Yeah.
like, right. So that's around when we start. So
Yeah.
it hadn't come to the States yet,
Yeah. Okay.
right? But we watched this period. If you're going to talk about the closest that the United States came to basically totalitarianism, it would have been during that point because there was a lot of talk of the people that were in power about like, look, we need these injections in people, and how far are we willing to go with this? All right. Now, that being said, this is also pre Musk buying Twitter, so I can tell you what it was like on there when it
It's
came
also
to.
pre George Floyd too.
That's correct.
Well, wait a minute. George Floyd was 2020, right?
Well, yeah, but it happens in COVID because remember this was the whole thing
Yeah, it was
was
the next summer. Yeah.
right because people were
It was
locked up.
definitely pre-election. So
What, George Floyd or COVID? COVID was pre-election. George Floyd was post.
yeah, you're right. That's 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was the whole argument was okay. So I guess it's safe for you guys to go ahead and riot, but it wasn't safe enough for us to go to church.
go to school. Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing: is I was there. I was there on every social media where it was like, if you don't say this, you're banned. Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we watched that change in that 4 year period.
Mhm.
And we've watched how the environment has basically sort of unraveled around this. So to me, like this is a very interesting time period, right? There's a lot of stuff where you say, shit, any one of these single incidents, again, like just the other day where they're like, we got you this time with the Epstein stuff. It's like, no, this was out.
The Epstein stuff was a turd this week.
Well, there were people that really wanted this. It's like, hey, we got something
Yeah,
with Donald Trump in it. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, actually, what you got is
Donald Trump likes to spend time with like women in bikinis. Really? Wow.
well, that's the thing is these were not new emails, right?
No, they weren't.
They took old stuff, put a redaction on it, and said like, hey, this is actually what you're going to find here is he hated this guy, and all these people that you're talking about actually said he had no wrongdoing with
It
this.
it felt like a shot over the stern. It was like, no, man, we're
You guys are just I don't at
yeah,
this point like I'm kind of with you at this point like you guys are barking up the wrong tree at this point. Like there's
yeah,
nothing if you were going to have something implicating anyone, it'd be out.
yeah.
It'd be out.
I, that whole thing, yeah, that popped up this week. I, yeah, it was like, oh wait, no surprises here. Got it. Okay, cool.
No, because ultimately, what I think here is that you're going to find scumbags of all shapes and sizes on that list, right? I don't think it's partisan. I think there's a reason why every time one side votes to release it, the other one stops it. Every time the other side votes to release it, the other one stops it. Like, look, I don't know who you're protecting, but I think both y'all are fucking guilty, right? And unfortunately, as of right now, that means it's going to get buried eventually.
Honestly, I just don't think there's that much there, man. So I don't. Dude, the guy was a pimp. Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So we found a pimp in Washington. Cool. Got it.
Right.
Yeah. And like, I'm sorry, it involves like high people in both parties and business leaders and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, okay, well, he was a rich pimp. Got it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
bro, I mean, we come from again. If we take it back, we were talking about 2000. Let's go back just one decade earlier. Let's go to the middle of it here, right? We're coming from the middle of the time here where the scandal was, especially living here, right? Was you had a bunch of upstanding religious guys, right? And they'd get on the case about you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, gays are evil. 2 months
oh,
later,
yeah, Tate Haggard.
thank you.
Yeah,
All
here we
right,
go.
it's and you were in a bathroom with who?
Wait, you're doing what?
Well,
That's
that's
not
not
what
a
you
woman,
said you were going
right?
to do. Yeah, exactly.
That's basically a child. And so we saw this whole thing of like this is not new information. This is the information of powerful people doing shitty things, right? Now, am I? You and I talked about this. I'm not Candace Owens. I do not believe this is the work of the devil. I think that
Oh, is it the Jews?
I don't hate them, Pat. I'm just critical of them, right?
Right, yeah, yeah. Let's put that disclaimer on it. Yeah.
No, 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 no,
It's
no.
like,
This is
yeah, no,
ridiculous.
my problem is it was Israel. It's with Zionists.
Right, right. Yeah.
Oh my God, Christian Zionists are the worst people ever. Come on, man. It's like,
No, well,
can you
Patrick,
split
remember,
that hair that close? Okay, cool.
no, no, remember, it's like dog whistles only work one way, Patrick.
Right, yeah, exactly. They
Right,
only work on the dogs.
right.
Everybody else is just kind of wandering around. It's like, oh, man, I got tinnitus.
We're like, well, when you say rioters, you mean it's like, no, I mean rioters.
Right, yeah, the people are actually like throwing
Yes,
bricks.
right.
Yeah, right.
I understand that they are of mixed color. I understand that there are a lot of stupid white women out there. I am not using this as a dog whistle.
And blue wares, blue
That's
hairs.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So hold on. Now, we were going to swing back to this here because yeah, when the planets crossed and the fucking red crescent moon opened up the gate, uh, what?
This is where you send the nuke up.
Yeah, how did Marjorie Taylor Greene cross over?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really know, man, but I mean, like, so I'm sorry. Like, I kind of keep my finger on some of the conservative media, um, mostly with Ben Shapiro, but
Okay.
then other guys, you know.
Ben Shapiro's been getting a hard time recently.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily deserves it, but he didn't lean back from the fights.
Did not.
So, all right, man, you're in.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can opt out of the octagon if you so choose.
This is true.
Yeah, but if you choose not to, um, so the whole thing about her like backing off on uh, or endorsing the Epstein files bill,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the next day whining on X about getting doxxed and like, oh my God, I've got threats, blah blah blah. It like totally struck me. It was like, holy shit, man, that's something that AOC would say. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's
Yeah.
actually a little connection loop over there. I mean, it's like playing a game of Civ, and you realize that the landmass actually connects. Later on, it's like, oh fuck, I've been playing on a lake here. You My boats can't get out. Yeah.
You never thought about that? It's like I've never seen a freshwater ocean.
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's a freshwater content farming ocean. It's full of content fish.
Really gross tasting
Really
trout.
gross
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now my Navy boats can't get out. So I don't know, man. It was just kind of weird realizing that, like, uh, so I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to Candace Owens that much. Okay,
It's probably for the best.
it is definitely for the best because I've heard other people say that she's actually got some kind of like psychological problem, that's just based upon like,
Like trauma survivorship or something.
I don't know
Like
about
didn't
that.
something
It's just
wacky
like
happen to her or
self
something?
patting back or something. I don't where like, because she was like all talking last week. Oh, I got the biggest podcast ever. Blah blah blah. I was like, really? Oh,
By what metric,
yeah,
ma'am?
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So post your math.
Is your
I want to
set
see your
huge?
work.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want
exactly.
to see your.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a geometry problem. I need the proof.
I, I I can see a science day project that was clearly made by your dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, really, fucking, vinegar and baking soda. You don't say. Yeah,
What is it? What is that
you made a
contest?
volcano, really? Yeah.
No, what is that? What is that Boy Scouts contest that is like infamous for? Um, Not the kids cheating, but like the dads coming
It's a
in.
Pinewood Derby
Yeah,
contest. Yeah.
exactly. Like, you did not build
You
this car.
did not build
You
this.
did not
Yeah,
build this car.
yeah. I can clearly tell this was built on a bandsaw. You don't have one of those, kid.
It ain't
You
even
know.
a band. So you come in there, it's like you wouldn't shape it like this because physics doesn't agree with this until you're in
Exactly.
your 12th year
Yeah.
of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It is definitely a Pinewood Derby contest.
Well, and that's, I mean, it shudders my, it kind of boggles me because there is a crowd of people that digs on that. They're saying like, I agree. It's like, yeah, we need a fourth branch of government to do exorcisms, and it's like,
That's hilarious because I actually watched that movie last night. Yeah, I did.
look,
So
it
it's
is.
just got enough touch of Catholicism in it.
Oh, look, I'm gonna argue it's still a masterpiece by every definition.
So I watched the full blown like non-cut version.
I think that's better
It is way better. It is
than the
way more
director's cut.
brutal. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's anyway.
yeah.
So
I completely agree.
yeah.
What got you to do that?
It
That's a
just showed up on my
uh,
YouTube feed. I mean, it's actually on like YouTube free movies right now. So I
oh,
was like,
okay.
fuck it, yeah. I've never actually seen the intro to this. So I watched the whole thing. But it is kind of the same thing because there's like I don't know, man, the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candace Owens thing versus Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly got involved in this, and she's another one that I kind of keep tabs on. And she wouldn't take a side, which was not good for her, you know, this week because Tucker's involved in this, and Tucker's all into fucking demonology and shit now, man.
This weird turn. Like
It is a weird turn, and then
it wasn't a winner in the '90s. It's not a winner now.
no, it's not a winner now. But the thing is, it's like what was it? Today is Sunday, so Friday, Donald Trump turned on her. And,
Who?
Marjorie Taylor
Yeah,
Greene, and I was
yeah.
like, okay, so now we have the inward purge going on, which is gonna happen for the next like I'd say probably not 6 months, but at least the next two. Where like there's this piece of the right that's getting way too close to America bad. It's all fucked. And we're
Pull it
not
out by its roots.
exactly
Yeah,
pull it out by its roots, burn it all down, kind of thing. And I'm sorry, man, the left has already got like kind of a fucking monopoly on that.
that's true.
And so, so there's just not going to be room for that because, like, quite honestly,
Mm,
most people are going to be like, actually, things are pretty fucking cool. Chill the fuck out. Stop fucking things up. You know?
because the right's version of that is basically Ruby Rich. That's where they get that energy from. Like it's cooked to its roots.
Yeah, and they're all going to
That ain't
bunch
it.
up. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen, man. So and that's the thing, and that's where the whole JD Vance is some kind of poser, fakey, kind of thing has been coming out. And I was like, I'm hearing that from the left more than I'm hearing from the right, which means that you guys are getting a little bit too close to each other. And so they're all going to get farmed out here pretty soon because, quite honestly, I don't know. I don't watch his numbers and stuff like that. But I'd be surprised if Tucker's numbers aren't collapsing because he has to fight Nick Fuentes on his right. And quite honestly, if the king actually like leans in on that and says, "Yeah, we're done," you know, and then even today, I think I saw a tweet. She's like, "Well, I hope we can make up someday." It's not going to happen.
She said that.
Something like that.
No,
So yeah, she said something along those lines. I hope we can work together again in the future. But like quite honestly, in okay, so here's my Epstein take on this. Is like, all right, so maybe Donald Trump ran around on his like at Mar-a-Lago and touched some butts at some point in time. Got it.
may have.
May have. I can totally see it. Melania,
Yeah.
he's not going to fight that fight, man. I think he's chilled out quite a bit, and he just doesn't want to have that discussion. And so, like you're going to get a whole bunch of Bill Clinton shit coming up here in the next few days. And he doesn't want that fight either, because quite honestly, and this is my super secret conspiracy theory here,
Yeah.
is that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton actually kind of like each other.
Patrick, I
I
think
I
that
think they can actually kind of see eye to eye on a bunch of stuff, and they enjoy each other's company. And so he doesn't want to make any trouble for her and her husband, and we just want to call it cool because he doesn't want to have that discussion with his wife. So
Patrick. Okay, so okay, it's not just him. I think he and Barack Obama are in that same kind of
I
relationship.
agree. Yeah,
And it's funny you talk about like the. Let me put it to you this way. All right, if you and I were on opposite sides, but we are who we are. We know each other. We've been in the same places. We've worked together many
we
times.
both went to the Super Bowl.
Both went to the school.
Yeah,
We've hung out
yeah,
many,
yeah,
many
many,
times.
many
Know
times.
so many of the same people. For years and years and years, I'm just waiting for you to show up, and I'm waiting. You're waiting for me to show up, right?
Exactly.
Because we do great at parties and stuff. So here's the thing: is if we didn't know each other, right? Straight up didn't know each other, and we were at a debate, and you threatened to put my ass in jail, right? The next day I would be like, that motherfucker, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like I would be going to like my dirty spots in like because that's the thing is when you watch those crime shows, you're like, this woman put a hit out on her husband for $2,500 in a Walmart parking lot. But you going like, no, I'm going to the good yellow pages, right? Because I'm willing to pay a lot more. I'm going to put you in the fucking ground,
Yeah.
put me in jail,
Yeah.
right? But if you're friends,
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want because at the end of the day, right? I'm still going to text you and say like that was funny, like
Yeah.
or
Good
whatever.
game, bro.
Exactly,
Good
exactly.
game.
It's like,
Yeah.
look,
Yeah.
I understand that we're friends, but I'm still going to try to beat you, right? I'm
Yeah.
not going to pull any punches, and you can do the same shit to me, right? If you were not, you would like Hillary
You would
Clinton
go
would have
all
gone
out. You would
fucking
go
ballistic.
fucking all out, and that hasn't happened.
She'd be like, "You're going to put me in where?"
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, if especially in her case where it's like, oh shit, I'm in the government, right?
Right.
I have lots of people connected to this government,
Right.
right? I have lots of ways to make your life hell right now. This is the shit. I'm like, yeah, you all hung out in the same corner of New York with each other
And Palm
all the
Beach.
time. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, is there a part of me that says like, all right, I could see again, this is the kind of like weird sort of like half autistic shit that Donald Trump does where it's like, I like this, but I don't like this.
Right.
I will touch every butt as long as it's 26 years and older, but before that, I consider it unripe and disgusting, right? That's
Right.
the same thing. It's like, now go ahead and get me 2 more burgers for lunch, right? Even
And a
though,
Diet Coke.
and a Diet Coke,
Yeah.
because I should be dead, right?
Right. Yeah. But I'm not.
But on the same kind of like token where
Yeah.
you say like, yes, these people are very finicky about food. You would say like, you would look at him and say, brother, sit down at the barber's chair and don't say, do this. Just say, do what you think looks nice.
Right.
You would have had that cut a long time ago, right? All the shit you do is kind of fenced in by this weird sort of, like I said, semi-autistic like thing that you do, where it's like these things are that I did this. I could absolutely believe like I don't touch them young. It sickens me, right?
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
I can also see him going nuts. I have no idea. He's There's a weird sort of like disorder to his sleazeballness that makes it hard for me to put my thumb and say like he would do this, he wouldn't do this because I know he went fucking nuts with beauty pageant winners. But beauty pageant winners, like, they're adults.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I just think that like all the shit that he's been through over the last like 15 years or so, even 20 years if you count all the stuff with like,
Leading up to it, and as
well,
an
leading up
apprentice and all
to
that
it,
shit. Yeah.
Apprentice, yeah, and all that stuff. He's just kind of chilled out quite a bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, and that's my point about him being pretty cool with the Clintons, even though he beat her. You know, I'm pretty sure there was a text in there that's like "good game, bro," you know, kind of thing. And
I do not think that same rapport exists between him and Kamala Harris.
no, but it does with Obama because there's something that comes with that office where there's only so many fucking people that yeah they kind of
Well,
see what you've seen and kind of like are operating at that level that
yeah.
there's a little bit of camaraderie again that's going on up there. And that's the thing that like folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Kenneth Adams are punching against, you know,
Well,
because but still at the same point in time, I mean, you know, I mean, the guy won. He's in power. He's doing an amazing job on so many different fronts. There's got to be a level of like professional respect there
well, and
that's
that,
going on in
yeah.
that. And then, you know, and then my whole thing with the Epstein thing in particular is like he's just a fucking pimp. Got it. Okay, fine.
With a
So
specialty.
with a maybe, and like they can't even prove all this stuff about underage girls and stuff. Whatever. Okay, you know, I mean, quite honestly, it's had so much heat put on it that if something was going to crack, something probably would have cracked by this point in time. You know, and really when it comes down to it, you know, having people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and stuff like that, you know, punch on this even harder than she was before, just kind of shows that they're getting a little away from center base.
Pretty much. And
Yeah.
for her, look, I know that she sees herself in a certain way. I know that she wouldn't call herself the white AOC, but there's a version of this where she sees herself as like
Pretty close.
as a superstar within there. And to me, it's like when I look at her and I see the way that she behaves, it's kind of like, you remind me like you remind me of somebody like a Weinstein victim, where it's like it does. It's like, okay, so
That's a little harsh, but I can't disagree with
well,
it.
you know what I mean? Where
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
do.
well, you promised me I'd do this if I did this. It's like, well, I promise a lot of things,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I'm not going to cast you in the next Superman movie.
And it's just like,
Right.
and we would. It's just you also have to act, and you suck, right?
Yeah.
So even though I promise these favors, you still have to deliver, right?
Right.
And there's this version of stuff where it's like, I thought I was supposed to be an all-star in this party.
I think she's just trying to find a place on the right there where she can actually shine her own star more so than anything else. And that's really hard to do when you have a guy like Donald Trump, who takes 95% of all barbs.
Correct.
Yeah. And so
Yes.
eventually, you start looking for other things, and then that's where this infighting is coming from. And I mean, to be fair, a lot of it does actually come from Israel, and there's a whole bunch of like just bad takes on that whole thing out there that
Yeah.
the left has kind of infected parts of the right with that. I
Well,
guess to their credit, but still at the same point in time, I mean, it's that whole thing where it's like, oh, I don't want to see any more like one-legged veterans in the United States. It's like, well, you're not.
right.
Okay, so
See
chill the
some
fuck
one-legged
out.
crones.
Yeah, exactly. Chill the
Yeah.
fuck out with that, but still at the same point in time, I mean, this whole like, just like, oh, war is never the answer. It's like, no, actually, it is sometimes. So,
Well,
and you might
I
not
mean,
like it, but
well, that's the thing is, it's not the only tool in your toolbox, but it is a tool in your toolbox.
and sometimes it's the exact right tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
So,
yeah, the thing that's really disconcerting here when it comes to right when it comes to when the black moon's eclipse, and actually cross over. The
the
thing that's
13th Quatoon. Yeah.
yeah, when that gate opens, the thing that you're not supposed to be looking at on both sides is the Jews, the Jews.
Yeah.
That's not where the horseshoe is not supposed to
No,
intersect
man,
there,
and that is
and that's
weird.
kind of where we are right
That
now.
is fucking weird that those planets have aligned lately. Because it's given a lot of guys who've probably been like hiding out on X
Oh,
or
I've seen it. The
wherever.
rocks that they have slithered on the
I
fucking
know, man. It's almost like the moon comes out
these
and never like it's like, oh fuck, man. I thought I got all the roaches out of here, man. What the fuck?
these fucking salamanders and millipedes have been waiting to get some sunlight for a while, and they have gotten out from under the
I
rocks.
know, man. And it's like, oh, you all think you're all sneaky now, man. And I know what you're up to. Come on,
Oh no, no, I understand.
man.
Again, it all. The thing is, it used to be more disguised, right? You would not openly say, "I think the wrong side won World War II," man.
Yeah, Churchill's the bad guy. You know,
There was
it's been a minute, Jeff, but yeah, I mean, that used to be a thing, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, man, you wearing SS tabs on your collar all the time. I got it.
right,
Yeah.
right, yeah. I am starting to see some of that pop up. And again, there are. This is the thing, and when people are concerned about Britain, they're concerned for the right reason here because they're not getting the compromise. They're not basically hitting the valve that you need to. They're not opening the steam valve, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that's the thing is if you let that build up, you're gonna get a politician in place that you are not gonna like. He's gonna solve some problems, but you're not gonna like the way that he solves those
Yeah.
problems. That's just how it goes. So here's the thing: is either you do something and say like, well, you know, it. I hate to admit it, but there seems to be some kind of connection between like number of mosques and number of stabbings. What are we gonna do? Right?
Yeah, and see, that's really dangerous there, man, because there's a really close link between like the Quran and Schustaffel bolts. Yeah.
They were not enemies.
No, they weren't. Yeah. They kind of had the same idea in mind. Yeah.
Well, again,
So
if you're talking about the horseshoe, there, it's like the Jews, the
it's the
Jews.
Jews. Yeah. It's always been it's the they with the triple
Right?
in parentheses. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, maybe we were fighting the wrong guys. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
It's like my
It's like
big
you
brother
guys
was.
are supposed to band together.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know. As I wish my big brother, so he would kick the shit out of all of you. Yeah. All right. There you go.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Pat,
I'm Jeffrey.
hitting the button.